It's about 9 a.m. Sun is way up. Noisy birds, noisy traffic, and every now and again construction bloopers. Hello lovely people, Vlogtober day 19. I'm on a bit of a high right now because I had 4 friends come over to knit or crochet, and we drank lots of tea and coffee. That caffeine-free day yesterday, thumbs down. I had a horrendous headache by the end of the day. So I decided to abandon that. So I had a half calf coffee and then I had a bunch of Yorkshire tea and I feel great. So I'm having a simple lunch right now. Just some bread and jam and banana. I don't know about you, but bananas are the one food that if they ever went away, I would be so depressed. I think it's my main food group. When I was working at the fabric store and I used to bring my lunch in to eat on my break, my boss used to make comments about how many bananas I ate. And I said, well, you know, bananas like a whole major food group on its own, isn't it? I think so. It's an absolutely glorious day. I've got the deck door open right now to let in some fresh air. There is some cloud around. I think the sunshine might be going away shortly, but I'm definitely going to be getting out there for a walk this afternoon. It's just too nice to be indoors. And I need to do some yoga. I do aim to do it every day. It's funny actually, because when I was working, I was way more consistent with getting my yoga done before I went to work than I am now that I am not going to work. Funny how that happens. I will definitely fit some yoga into my schedule today, and some walking, and I've just planned a simple dinner for tonight. It's just going to be soup and biscuits, or savoury scones if you're in the UK. This whole biscuits versus scones versus cookies thing is interesting when you're a transplant from the other side of the Atlantic. And I've got 2 sons out of town right now, so there'll only be 3 of us for dinner. And the son who's at home will definitely not object to soup for dinner. So I'm going to have my lunch now and get outside. What a gorgeous day. 18 degrees. It's quite windy, but the wind is warm. Can you see that little speck in the middle of the lake? Someone's got a sailboard out. Perfect day for it. This is my local park. If you want to do a whole loop of the upper and lower trails, it takes about an hour. I'm just doing half a loop today. I parked halfway down the access road and I'm doing the southern half. A little bit of uphill, a little bit downhill, and a little bit of sitting on the beach in a minute. Getting a little bit of solar therapy here. So lovely. Right by the lake. There's been a few sightings of black bears in our neighbourhood the last few weeks. So as I'm walking around this park, I'm very aware that I might come across something I don't want to come across around the next bend. You know that they're often there, but staying away, because they can hear you coming from a long way off. So when I'm not with somebody to talk to, I'll jangle my keys loudly every now and again, or hum, or something to let them know that I'm there. In one way, I'd love to see a bear. Wouldn't that be an exciting addition to the vlog? And in another way, I don't want to see one. Not too close anyway. You know what they say, be careful what you wish for. Well, I'm at the point where if I'd had enough, I could just go up this road here, go back to my car in about 5 minutes, but I'm enjoying myself so much that I'm going to carry on along the Lakeshore Trail and go up a different trail later. The sound of the water and the wind in the leaves is just so therapeutic. I can see why the Japanese have this tradition of forest bathing. It's like a mini retreat in your own backyard. I'm seriously considering doing this walk again tomorrow and then going for a plunge in the icy cold lake. What do you reckon? I'm all out of breath now. I picked an uphill path to get back to the car. I know I cannot pronounce that. I haven't been this way in quite a long time, so I'm not sure how close I am to the car, but it's not far. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be warmer than this tomorrow. Maybe a maximum of 19. In which case, I think I can handle a lake plunge. It doesn't hurt once you go numb, right?
Don't talk about it like you're crazy. You know damn well I can't replace you. Just say what you mean. Don't waste your time being mad at me. Say what you mean, say what you mean. And you'll get what you need, get what you need. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you. The way you look at me is absent. It's like you're walking through a labyrinth. Just say what's going on? Don't waste your time being all alone. Say what you mean, say what you mean. And you'll get what you need, get what you need. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you. Don't play me, 'cause you push.
Well, I got hot and sweaty in the park, and I got hot and sweaty doing 20 minutes of power vinyasa yoga. There was one part where she jumps forward into a handstand. I didn't do that part. I did crow instead, and only for like 1 second. But still, it was challenging. Feels good. I'm just getting everything I need together to make flaky buttermilk biscuits. Again, I'm cooking out of this book because just about everything I have made out of this book has been a hit. While I have these in my hand, I just want to mention these are my favorite measuring cups. I have 2 sets from Lee Valley. They are awesome. And I also have 2 sets of their measuring spoons. Of course, moving to North America in 1994, I had to learn about cups and spoons rather than ounces and grams, because that's what all recipes seem to be written in. But it is a lot easier when you get used to it. And not long ago, I bought this cookie cutter set from Amazon. And it was so exciting. Honestly, the things we get excited about. Look how many sizes there are. It goes all the way from a 1 inch to a 4.4 inch. So I'm going to use one of those today. Very exciting. And as usual, I'm going to double my quantities because 10 biscuits isn't enough for anybody, is it? I'm going for the little plastic jug because my glass ones have all lost their markings. This is how you make non-buttermilk buttermilk. Soy milk and vinegar, and it curdles, and it's the perfect substitute. Now, I'm normally a whole wheat crunchy granola girl all the way, but I do have white flour in the house, because I do sometimes use it. And what I'm going to do today is combine whole wheat and white, because when you're making biscuits, you want them to be light. And whilst I've had over 30 years of eating heavier bread and biscuits, or scones, whatever you want to call them, every now and again, I like to throw a bit of white flour in there. I don't think I can bring myself to make them all white, though. There, beautifully curdled. So we're going to have 2 cups of whole wheat and 2 cups of white. Baking soda. I'm only going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in because baking powder and baking soda are salty anyway. And I'm also going to make these a little bit cheesy, and that's also going to add some salt. I don't want to add too much extra. Throw in some nutritional yeast. Not even going to measure that, we'll just eyeball it. Add some good B vitamins while it's there. Okay, 10 tablespoons of butter. This would be so much easier if I had a stick of baking butter, but I do not. Whenever I do something like this, rubbing fat into flour, reminds me of learning how to make pastry when I was in secondary school. That was a long, long time ago. When I was around 14, I had to choose what O levels I was going to take. There were some that were compulsory, like English language and English literature. There was French, biology, and math were compulsory. And then you had some electives. You had to choose 3 others. And I didn't want to do chemistry and physics or geography or history. I didn't enjoy those. So I ended up choosing German, needlework, and cookery. And it kind of felt like a bit of a cop-out at the time. My parents probably thought that wasn't a very good choice. They probably thought I was able to do more than that. But you know what? I really enjoyed those subjects. When I got over my terror or my fear of Mrs. Poole, my needlework teacher, and Mrs. Surkoff, my cookery teacher, once I got over my fear of them, and I also had to get over my fear of using a gas oven and hob, I was fine. And the best thing about it is I have used those skills all through my life. I have never regretted doing cookery and needlework at school. I'm going to add some of these Violife mozzarella shreds as well. That seems like a good size to use. Oh, these new cutters cut so beautifully. I was limping along for years with these fluted ones, which, you know, apparently you're only supposed to use fluted ones for sweet things and plain ones for savory things. So they say. But I had these ones that were old and had lost their handles, and it hurt to press down on them because I was pressing down on a sharp edge. And when you finally get around to replacing them, you wonder why you waited so long. I think I might also brush these with some milk before I put them in the oven as well. Hopefully that'll help them brown up a little more as well. I don't know about you, but I'm really disappointed that they put warnings on flour now. And they say that you should never eat raw dough. I mean, how many of us as children ate raw dough? When my mum had trimmings left from the pastry when she was making a pie, you'd eat it. When she was making cake, you'd want to scrape the bowl. I got some cute pictures of my kids with batter all over their faces from way back when. Now we're not supposed to do that anymore. Well, you know what I think of that, right? I'm still going to do it. Oh boy, these secondary cuts are always messy. Okay, we're ready. The sun has come out from behind the clouds, but I don't think it's going to be for long. There's definitely more cloudy sky than blue sky right now. I just had to move my cookbook because it was sitting right over the oven vent and it was getting a bit warm. All right, they're all ready to go in the oven. It's set to 450 and it's almost there. Even though I completely forgot to set the timer, my biscuits seem fine. And they're all baked and ready to have with the soup that I'm going to make next. The biscuits turned out great. And I'm having them with a potato mushroom pepper soup. I was a little heavy-handed with the red pepper flakes. Rather than use a measuring spoon, I sprinkled them in, and let's just say it's a little spicy. Do you like my spooky wall quilt? I made that as a sample for work a couple of years ago, and now it goes up on my wall this time every year. I have a feeling I've got quite a lot of editing to do, and even though there's a few hours left of the day, I'm going to put everything together now and finish up here. My crochet bag has come to the point where it's almost big enough to stop, and so I need to figure out what the next stage is going to be. So that will be my evening, plus catching up on my YouTube subscriptions and who knows what else. Probably a lot of couch time. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 20. Bye for now.